Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys have seen, I recently graduated high school. My sisters have moved in with me and summer has actually officially started. So I just sort of wanted to give you a little update on another part of my life. Very minor part of my life. So I haven't really talked very much on my channel recently about Laela's biological father. So today I'm here to share with you guys the recent situation with him, the recent things that have been going on with Laela's real dad, and just more about who he is for you guys, because I've sort of hidden that from my channel for a long time because I was going to give him a chance to come and, introduce himself on the channel rather than just me talk about him and him like randomly see my videos. If you're watching, hi. Just to give you a rundown on the history of us. We met about 2 years ago. Actually, today, the day I'm filming this, is his birthday. So happy birthday. And we met about 2 years ago, around June 10th. So right around now, 2 years ago. Laela's birthday is coming up, June 11th. After we met, we started, we were friends for a little bit, we hung out a little bit, and then we started dating. We're not going to go too much into detail about that, but basically we didn't have a very serious relationship. It was just sort of a summer fling kind of thing. I tried to leave him once I started school. We went to 2 different schools and he didn't want me to try to leave him, so he purposely got me pregnant. Obviously I wasn't on birth control and I knew that I wasn't on birth control and what happens if you're not on birth control and you're having unprotected sex. I've mentioned this in videos before, I knew what I was doing, I know where babies come from, it takes 2 to tango, all that stuff, but yeah, he was trying to get me pregnant is what he told me. After that, we tried to work it out, our relationship, but it still just wasn't working. So I ended up leaving him, and throughout my whole pregnancy, we sort of went back and forth, and I would try to talk to him sometimes and try to see him. He wasn't really that interested, and I wasn't really that interested in him being a part of Laela's life because I realized he probably wouldn't be a very good part of her life. I also sort of realized that he didn't have any interest in it, which sometimes made me really sad. Now that I've come to this point of my life, I'm grateful that, he's sort of out of the way. So I'm grateful that I have met someone else that's an amazing father figure for Laela and has been an amazing part of my life and her life. So basically after I had Laela, he came to see her when she was a few days old and he brought some of his family members. He came twice right around when she was first born and he would just sort of stay for an hour and he would visit her and see her. He wouldn't really talk to me much at all. He's always been really quiet. Then he came another time when she was maybe 4 months old. Same thing, he just sort of came for an hour, played with her, didn't really know how to interact with her, seemed pretty lost and uncomfortable. Then he left. And then he came one more time when she was 8 months old. And this time, Logan was there when he came to see her. I was like, you don't have to be there if it makes you uncomfortable. He was like, no, I want to be there. He's Laela's biological dad, and I'm, a huge part of Laela's life, and I'm potentially going to be the one, that's her new father figure, and that's raising her, so, it's only the right thing for me to formally introduce myself to him. And he came, and he introduced himself to Laela's dad, and he basically ignored him. He, mumbled, hi. Maybe. And other than those 4 times that he's come to see her, he has not contributed to her life whatsoever. He's not on her birth certificate, he doesn't pay child support, he hasn't done a single thing for her other than those 4 times where he came to see her for an hour. As far as me and him, we will sometimes talk back and forth. I will text him and I'll send him pictures of Laela and I'll say oh, you're welcome to come see her. Recently, I decided to give him another chance to come and see Laela and be a part of her life and introduce himself on my channel. So I'm going to pull up the screenshot and show you guys exactly how our conversation went. But basically I texted him and I offered him money to film a video with me so that you guys could meet him because I really wanted to introduce him to the channel and for him to get a chance to share his side of the story. All that I really know about what he's doing right now is that he doesn't have a job and he does nothing. That's all that I really know right now. But that could be different. He doesn't tell me, no one tells me, no one even talks to him anymore, none of his friends really talk to him anymore. I still talk to some of them because they still want to be a part of Laela's life. I just ran into one at the store the other day that I mentioned in one of my videos. Anyway, so I'm gonna pull up the text messages, but basically I offered him a third of the money from a video, which is very generous considering I have never received a cent from him for Laela, so I shouldn't have even been offering him that money. I just really wanted to film this video. I just sort of wanted to see, like, if I offered him money, if then he'd be willing to do it, because I've asked him before, and he was like, no, I don't really want to do that. So I offered him a third of the money, thinking a third for him, a third for me, and a third for Laela, because that's, like, sort of what I do with my money anyways, is I put half away into savings, and, like, some of that's for other stuff, but some of it's for Laela. And also I have to pay a lot of taxes, so I made sure that he knew, like, after taxes, you can have a third of, like, what's ever left. He responded very quickly to this message and seemed very, like, you know, like, normally he'll send me, like, one-word responses, or, like, I'll send him, like, oh, you can come visit Laela, here's a picture, and I'll just be like, oh, cute, or, like, aw, and, like, won't say anything about anything else. He usually doesn't try at all to communicate with me. But this time, he seemed very urgent to, like, oh, yeah, like, let's do the video, and he was like, but I want one half. So then I was just like, okay, whatever, like, I'm just gonna try to get him to do the video. He probably won't know how much I make anyways. I really didn't want to lie to him about how much I was making, because I wanted it to be, like, an agreement. But I was gonna try to eventually talk him down and be like, look, I don't really want to give you half of the money, I don't think that's fair. So we're gonna go ahead and start scrolling through my phone. I offered him a third of the profit to be in a video, and he answers one half. I said, okay, bet, after taxes. He said, I guess. I was like, okay, great, next week let's film the video, you and your grandma can come, and, like, your grandma can see Laela, and we can film the video. I said, all you have to do is introduce yourself, and that's it, like, you don't have to say anything. So he was like, okay, great, sounds like a plan. And then he was like, wait, how am I gonna know how much you really make from the video? So then I sent him a screenshot showing, like, on my YouTube account where it shows, like, how much I make from each video. So I was like, look, I can just show you, like, the screenshot, or, like, show you exactly how much I made from that video. And then I was like, but I have to take out a lot for taxes. And he started, like, trying to barter with me about how much I have to take out for taxes. I was like, what do you know about my taxes? And then he said he wants a contract. And then he's trying to argue with me, like, oh, the number you said sounds like a lot of taxes. I was like, yeah, I have to pay a lot of taxes. He was like, okay, how about this number? That's a good compromise. A few days later, after I, like, thought about it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, like, be serious with him now. So I sent him this long message, and I was like, okay, I thought about it, I really want to do this video, but I don't think you should get half of the profit. I was thinking a third would be fair, because a third for you, a third for me, a third for Laela, because I try to put a lot of what I make into savings for her future. And considering you should be paying for half of her needs, you should really do this for free to make up for that. But I'm still going to offer you a third for your time. So if you're willing to do that, great, but if not, we don't have to film. So he said, never mind then. I was furious. Then I sort of started going off. I should have just stopped texting him at that point and realized, like, wow, like, he really doesn't care, like, that's it. Out of my motherly rage, I decided to keep texting him. So then I said, wow, do you not feel bad that you do nothing for your kid? Like, does that never bother you? And that was so unnecessary and immature. I really should not have said that at all. I should have just, like, let it go, because clearly he has issues to deal with if, like, he really doesn't care, like, at all. Because, I mean, what kind of father? Like, I know not all men are bad, because obviously Logan came into my life. He has, like, no connection to Laela at all, and he fell in love with her and wanted to come in and be a father to her. And that's just, like, incredible to me, and it really proves to me that there are good people out there. And then I met his family and realized, like, wow, his family is, like, full of love, and they're amazing people, and I love them. I love his parents, and so, like, no wonder Logan is like that. But I've just heard so many stories about dads who, like, really don't care about their kids at all, and it just wows me. Like, as a mom, you fall in love with your baby just, like, instantly, and it's, like, unconditional love. And when the first time he came to see Laela, when she was a newborn, he looked at her and, like, I thought he was gonna cry. Like, it looked like he was falling in love with her. And then, like, he just slowly, it just died off. And he seems to have no interest in being a part of her life at all. Because we're right here, and, okay, just wait for the conversation. So then he says, it has nothing to do with Laela, this is about you. And then I said, and guess who makes 100% of the money to support her, and feed her, and give her a home, and puts 100% of the work into raising and caring for her? Obviously, 100% was an exaggeration, because Logan does a lot for her too, and his family does, and, like, my friends helped me and everything. But, like, out of the two of us, me and my people do 100% of that work. And guess what he said to that? Congrats. I'm pretty sure when he said that, like, you know how when you text congrats, like, the little confetti pops up? He literally said congrats, And oh my god, I was going to break something. I was like, are you literally joking? I gave up so much and like sacrificed so much and grew up so quickly to do this for our child. And he said, congrats. Like the sarcastic kind of like, oh, congrats. I was furious. Like I was so angry. Whew. Man, it's just like, it's kind of wild how like much control men have over women's feelings. It's really sad. Anyway, I'm over it. So I decided to snap back and I said, I feel bad for you. And what I meant by that is like, I feel bad that you don't have the connection with Laela that I do and that you don't get to be a part of her life. When I literally offered to you, you're just too messed up to see that and too messed up to like man up and just come be a part of her life. Like, anyways, I don't want him to anymore. I don't want him to be a part of her life at all. But I just don't understand how it doesn't bother him that he isn't. He said, you're keeping my daughter from me just like you said you wouldn't. Now, as you can see in this video, I didn't respond to that, and that's because when he sent that, I went way back into our conversations, and I emphasized every time that I offered for him to come see Laela. Clearly, he just disregarded all the times that I invited him to come see her, and just said like, oh, well, you didn't answer my grandmother. My grandmother wanted to come see her. And I said, that's not you, that's her. And when I didn't answer his grandmother, I was like out of town, I was busy, I had stuff going on, and like, obviously, like, she just isn't my first priority, and I'm sorry, but like, he doesn't contribute anything to her life. And if he at least was paying child support or something, like, I feel like I would feel more obligated to like let his family be a part of her life. So it really would just be out of the kindness of my heart to let them be a part of her life. And yes, I want to be a good person, and I want to be nice to them, but I said, that's not you, that's her. And he said, okay, well, I have stuff going on in my life where I'm not always available. She's very upset that you won't answer her, so her is an extension of me. Apparently, he just has some stuff going on. He's too busy to come and see his daughter, so that's why he hasn't been there for the last year. I said, your family can come see Laela when you start contributing to her life. And he said, okay, cool, thank you. And that was the end of that conversation. So that's the tea. He hardly ever talks to me. He clearly has no interest in being a part of Laela's life, and like actually being a part of it like in a positive way, like coming and contributing to it. Whereas I've literally offered for him to just come and visit her. Like I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for help. I don't ask for money. I just like am giving him an opportunity to man up and be a father figure for her so that she at least knows her biological dad, because I never knew my biological dad and I like always felt like there was something missing, and like I had other people in my life. You can't miss someone that you never knew. I was always curious, and there was times where I was so angry at my mom because she would tell me like, no, I didn't want him to be a part of your life. I just want Laela to know that I tried my hardest to get him to be there, and it's not important that he's your biological dad. And yes, I did want you to know him, and maybe one day you can meet him when he's ready and you're ready. Obviously she has Logan, and Logan is worth so much more. Real love and family does not mean blood. Like you don't have to really be related to someone for it to be real loving family bond. So that's my speech for today. To Laela's dad, if you're watching this, I really hope that you're doing well and that maybe you can man up to be part of Laela's life. I really hope for Laela's sake that you can find happiness and be a good person, and yeah, that's all. I'm so happy with like how my life turned out, and I would never ever change anything about Laela or anything about my life or situation, because I like to say that you learn something from everyone you run into in your life. For me, I think that was just about the kind of person that I want to be with, and that's not a selfish person. That's someone who is caring about others, and that's exactly how Logan is. He's very selfless, and I'm just really lucky to have him. Alright, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. I love you all. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff.